Hello everyone, welcome to my 30th, I think, live stream. Good morning to everyone. Today I have a couple of ideas to figure out stuff on the Node side, on the Node.js client side. Prior to jumping into that, this week Memgraph channel reached 100 subscribers, which is not a huge number these days, but I'm really glad for that, and thank you very much for subscribing. Just keep doing that. Please like, share, and subscribe, and also ask questions. As I said, the today idea and the goal is to start working on the Node.js client. There is actually the client, which is like half done, and it needs some serious refactoring, and also because of various reasons. So first, we have to port it to the latest version of Memgraph C client, and also we have to add support for the async stuff, and also add TypeScript support. Idea is to do that as soon as possible, but probably in a couple of these Saturday live streams I'll manage to finish that. That's more or less it. Here on my PC, on my streaming PC, I don't have any setup yet, which means that I'll also do some basic setup in terms of the node and compiler and all these things. So hopefully that's gonna be also insightful. All right, let's jump in. So first of all, I have to set up the environment. I've actually started doing so, but it's not done yet. So anyway, here I have all the repositories that I've worked on the live streams, but yeah, I actually cloned the repository here, but I have to quickly create my workspace script. I'll just copy the Rust stuff for now, and here we have to change Rust into Node and Node. Since that all has the same, I actually won't start with Vim because I have issues with that. I'll do that manually. That's great. And now Node MG client, that should work. Yeah, all good. Git status, nice. All right. Git log. What we have here? Yeah, I've recently updated the project, just updated the dependency and stuff like that, but we're gonna go through all that very soon. Let's open README. So in the README it says that we need a CMake with a client compiler and Node. So let's quickly set up that. Node version, I think I have Node, but it's not good enough. Yeah, and NVM. Yeah, I don't have NVM. So NVM is some kind Node version manager, I think. NVM help. Yeah, I don't have that. So yeah, NVM. Yeah, Node version manager. There is the installation here to install, download the script, and then let's do this. So the NVM will allow us to pick and choose different node environments similar to Python virtual environment. If you wish to uninstall, yeah, this has to be added. I remember this has to be added to the bash rc, but let's just, yeah, I have that here. I have that here, so hopefully nvm, yeah, I have nvm now, which is great, but do I have nvm here? No, because I have to reload that. Can I just do source bash rc nvm? Nice. So that works. Now we have the node version manager, and if we nvm status, no, nvm list, I think, yeah, I have the system one, which is 10 point something, and that's not what we want. Maybe increase that. Yeah, we want latest Node.js version, latest Node.js 14.17.5 nvm install 14.17.5. Now it should install that node version, default nvm list. Yeah, if I click now node version, great. If I go here, node version, no, but I'm gonna kill all that, node mg client, and restart. And now here I should have, nice. Okay, now we have the latest node, and I think, okay, when it comes to vim readme, when it comes to that, I only need CMake and Clang. And let's check that version. We have CMake version. I have Clang 10. Okay, that's I think I covered that in some of the previous videos. How to install CMake and Clang. It's pretty simple. It's just apt-get install these two. But yeah, if you would like to, if I have to cover that somehow, please let me know in the comments. That's about it. And now we have to run npm ci. So that was a command that I recently discovered, npm ci. So it's quite interesting because it does clean installation, or how they say. So yeah, it's doing a clean install of your dependencies. But yeah, it preserves, it uses the package log JSON to get all the right versions of the modules, not to mess up with versions. So I think that's the right command that we should use. I mean, obviously we can use npm install, but yeah, npm ci. So that's gonna download all the dependencies. We now have node modules folder here, and we have a run build release. That's project specific because here we have that command, and it more or less running npx. So now that's again specific to Node ecosystem. Npx Node. That's a package that is used to run commands from the local Node modules directory, so that the global binaries are not used and global packages are not used. Instead, local packages are used. So we have that CMake.js package, which is used to configure CMake, and then after that it's used also to compile the project. So npm run build, let's say debug at this point, and then debug is going to download mg client, the C and C++ mg client, and it's gonna create that Node mg client. We also, so now everything is compiled and fine. We also do have some tests, so let's run them quickly to ensure that we have all that we started all in the right way. Sorry, I was npm run test. So that's gonna run npm run test. Yeah, and okay, that failed because I still have to fix these colors, but I'll do that for the next stream, I hope. But anyway, these are errors because we don't have Memgraph 1.1 community locally. Memgraph actually is, Memgraph version is now much bigger, but since this client is not updated for quite some time, we'll just try to use that and download that locally. And also these tests are using Docker because that's the way how initially I was planning to test Memgraph, by running for each test another version of Memgraph, which is probably the correct way because every test is isolated. But yeah, it comes with a set of challenges because Docker has to be managed. But there is a nice package called Docker Road that allows you to manage Docker instances from your JavaScript code. All right. Anyway, I'll try to download Memgraph 1.1. Copy link. I think we don't have these older. Here they are. Yeah. Copy link address and Docker. No. Let's go into downloads. Yeah, I have almost all the versions of Memgraph, but no 1.1. Let's download that. It should work. While that's getting downloaded, yeah, but it's gonna be done super quickly. What else do I have to explain? Maybe we also have some of these tools, so we can also generate a quite good coverage report but I'll cover that later on when we actually get to the point that in where coverage is meaningful in any way. All right, nice. Load minus memgraph 1.1. 1.1 is really old version of Memgraph, but we'll keep with that, and then later on, I mean, soon we're gonna replace that with the latest version. But now we have the image, so if we run the tests again, they should work. Docker PS, yeah, we have Docker instances running, queries, yeah, nice. So as you can see, all the test suits passed, also all the tests passed, which is great. So now we have everything working. Now it's the time to make some mess here. All right. Let's go back to the node. So the point is, the first step towards fixing the client or improving it. I mean, obviously the whole project is let's say complex. I'm gonna decouple that and explain that as I go through that. But first step is to migrate Node MG client to latest MG client version. And let's just go GitHub MG client. MG client is quite a stable repo that has a bunch of stuff inside, and we recently published a pretty stable version of it. And yeah, maybe one thank you. Sinisha recently did a really good fix and contribution into the repo. So thank you very much for that. I really appreciate. I'll just go here and copy the commit hash and paste it. I think here. So here we in the CMake we are checking out and adding an external project which is MG client, but we gonna change the version to the latest one. Probably we should put a release tag here, but since this version actually fixed a bug, I'll use the latest commit hash. That hash shouldn't change in the future, so I think that's fine from the software engineering perspective. So and since the client is still under development, that's all fine. Let's try to compile now. So now we are compiling the client again, but yeah, now we have now we have a lot of issues. So because the API of the MG client was changed, we have to update it. So let's go one by one. I don't have particularly good setup here for the node stuff, but this is mostly C++, so that should work. If I run make here, nice. So vim make works here, and if I go here, that will position me on the right line, and we don't have set client name, but since that's in another project, I think I have to. I don't have. I just have to go. I don't have a workspace for that, so let's quickly create that as well. MG client. Yes. Yes. MC. Just MG client. Session name is MG client. MG client. All right. MG client. Nice. We are in here. Get pull to get latest. Oop. Git branch. We are on the wrong branch. Git checkout master. Git pull. Git log. Yeah. Here we are. That's the version that we are targeting. Yeah, here I forget to remove him, but doesn't matter. So yeah, we need a client name, mg session params, mg session params. So the function is called set user agent. So let's set user agent. That should fix that error. Let's compile it again. All right. Now we have something else. Yeah, we have mg session run issue. Oh yeah, that's much more complex. Sorry, maybe I haven't explained, but this was just a function that sets the user agent. So that's a string that will be passed to the server about client name, something that server can use to identify clients, or at least log who was connected and stuff like that. But here we have more advanced stuff. So we have run. Okay, now maybe I can start explaining the whole mess here, because we have a bunch of unknown stuff. So first of all, maybe let's go into the HPP file. So the whole, if you want to build something that is using, I may move myself here. I forgot to do that, but anyway, if you want to build something that calls C or C++ code from Node, the latest way of doing so is to use Node API, which is part of the Node project. So Node C++ API. As you know, Node.js is built on top of C++ and the V8 engine and libuv, which is a C library that is responsible for the whole networking stuff and managing connections and stuff like that. And plus Node has the whole engine to run JavaScript, and in order to communicate and interact with that engine, there is the API for that. and API has there is C API, but also C++ API for the same thing. So my goal initially was to use C++ Node add-on. That's these are examples. No, I don't need examples. Oh, since I last checked here, they added a bunch of new examples, which is really good. Which is nice, but not examples. Node add-on API. Yeah, this one. So this is the code that is the C++ API to Node, and this is used throughout the whole project. And then basically all these data types have to be used to and have to be passed to the Node engine, and you get data back through these objects. So basically, let's maybe open some of these files. So there is the env object, which is environment in which the request is being run. So like every single request has that environment. Every single call has an environment, and you get through that environment any exception or anything that happened during the execution. So that's the environment. And there is also the callback info. That's also quite important. So when you make a call from the JavaScript code into the C code, the callback info object has all these information contained. So basically all these functions and methods will have the callback info object passed, and it could be used to get arguments and stuff like that. So for example, in JavaScript, if you execute a function with 2 arguments, these arguments will be passed through this object. So these are here, callback info and environment, and also there is also then also these values are important. So every JavaScript value is wrapped into NAPI value, and these objects are passed around and returned from the code. So almost the way how the code was implemented initially was to return these values from almost every call. So whatever you do, you return a value, and then that value, JavaScript code knows what to do with that value. Internally, you have to internal implementation details of these methods deal with the exact value and create the value. So that's how these things currently work. So I'll just continue using that, and as we go, I'll explain more and more details of these things. And I also have to remind myself I did that work almost more than a year ago. Okay. What was the deal here? Let's go back. We have to deal with mg-session run. So mg-session run is called in the run. So run is actually responsible for sending a query to the server, and that's more or less it. So let's go and the problem here is that mg-session run also changed signature, mg session run. mg session run has a session query params, session query params, session query params, yeah, and then we have extra run information, columns, and query ID. So extra run information are these things for the database engine, but since we don't have much of these now, we can just pass null here, and the same applies for the query ID, because we can just ignore that for now. So I'll just quickly fix that by passing null here and also null here. That should fly. Later on we might introduce that and fix that more like properly. Okay, now we have a pool. Okay, let's check mg session pool. mg session pool. mg session pool. Yeah, that will be a bigger mess, because we pass session and we pass pool information, and pool information should contain n, which how many records to fetch. That's interesting, but I think that's the case now. But previously, the pool was also responsible for returning data back, which is not the case now. So we have to completely change this and also introduce the fetch call to do so. Yeah. So here, I think we need to change this completely to extract information from here. Okay, let me just check. So we have some of the examples here. Execute and fetch. So we can make a connection. We execute and fetch. That execute and fetch should where is that implemented? That's in the lib. Yeah. Execute and fetch. Okay, we actually have a cursor. So that's another layer of complexity. So we have these cursors to handle the exact executions. But yeah, cursor execute. So that's here. Let's open that in another tab. Let's split it here. All right, so we have execute, begin, commit, rollback, and columns. And this is, here we call execute, and then execute is here. Yeah, and here we call the run function. And we are passing the info here, which is good. Result data. How we get data back? Sorry, here is the pool. So, and then we have the actual data. We're gonna have to call here also fetch. All right. in order to do so, I think this should be fine. I think we just, for now, I'll just create, so I will open another tab with connection stuff, and then here, I actually wanted to check that here we should pass how many objects do we want to pull. And pull is fetching everything. Do we have any other method that does one by one? So here we obviously do, we are fetching everything. So we can call pull and fetch. But what about execute lazy columns? Actually, we might just change this all here to make this work. Okay, I think we have that logic in the Python or Rust client, so I'll just take stuff from there and make it work here at this point. PyMG client and also RSMG client. README. Probably Python is a better example because all right, MG client, no, source connection, pull. Okay, that's run is fine. MG session pull. Yeah, we need this part here. So if 0, then MG session pull null. Okay, so we can just pass here null to fetch everything. Unable to pull data from server. MG result will be needed later on. So that's full, and then we need to fetch, and fetch is more or less equivalent to the whole pool. So yeah, boom. Status fetch data mg status 0. We have to change it. Let's put so we have to pass n at some point. Here we have to check the error handling of that, but before mg session fetch. I think here we need copying doesn't work. It works, but in a wrong way. Okay. Mg status pull status mg pool. So if it's, yeah, let's figure out the error handling immediately because we have to. So mg session pool returns a status non-zero if it failed. So this is actually wrong now, so we have to check for no zero. If mg status is zero, that's all that will come later on, because that's what fetch will return. We only check for error, then we call mg fetch status connection, we pass session and results. Why is that not correct? Mg results. Okay. Now we have fetch. Mg session fetch. So it's gonna return a 0 or 1. 0 means that 1 means that result has obtained. 0 means that there are no more result rows and that the query execution summary was stored result. All right. So if we get a 0, it means that we have the summary, and that's fine. But we cannot return the summary. That might be a problem. Fetch status mg result unable to, if not summary handle error. That's fine. But we are in the connection. We might extend pool to return to return summary, and but yeah, let's go back here. So how is that actually implemented? So we are running pool many times, and then if we have, and then we have status code. For what's the result? But actually, yeah, that's fine. So we can return summary as 0 and data data index plus plus. We are actually adding data into the new array here. Because we are and we can call pull. We can call pull before, and then have the fetch to be run to be executed in this loop. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. We need another. Okay, we need another method. So mg session fetch. Yeah. Yeah, I think we need the same thing here. So the pool, but it's not gonna be full pool. It's gonna be called fetch, and this is gonna be moved. All that is gonna be moved here. So mg result fetch, if we have 0, we return. If there is 0, summary is returned. If there is no 0, we return data. Data is also here array, but data is the record, bolt record, which has multiple values inside. So that's when you write in Cypher match and match nrm, return error nrm, that will be 3 values returned, and this is the array here. Discard all, handle la la la. Yeah, that's in case something fails with the decoding. That's fine, and we return data. Okay. Okay, fetch. If fetch is 0, what else can fetch return? On failure, non-zero execute is returned. Okay. On yeah, so we're gonna just made an if statement mg, so we can just move with the status. If it's different than 0 or status not equal to 1, we make that call bad, connection bad, and if it's 0, then we return summary, and otherwise it's obviously 1. We have data and we return that data back, and mg status here is 1, so we're gonna return that as the status. Should be fine. Yeah, okay. And connection HPP, since we have pull, we're gonna also have fetch in the header file. Connection, let's split it here. To make a little bit more room here. Okay. Yeah, that's, I think we have the correct implementation of the pull of the fetch. What is wrong here? Yeah, we just added that, so it should be fine when we compile next time. And we, in regards to pull, so we are obviously fetching everything if that's fine. A pool is returning these columns. No, run is returning columns. What is pool returning? Nothing. We can just pass. Yeah, I don't know what to put in the interface here. What else? This pool. We just return 0 if it's all fine, and we change the status into fetching. Okay. Yeah, good. Let's just return an integer here. And also do that here in the header file. We obviously cannot just return integer because we get the error, we append the error, and then we return that as soon as possible. -1. Let's revert this. So we'll use the same signature. If it's all fine, we just return status equals connection status. Yeah, that's also something we have to change. So ready in transaction executing fetching 3 closed 4. We return null here and null here. Okay. Oops. Nice. I'm stupid here a bit. So mg status and a really silly mistake. So yeah, but yeah, it's good that we have that linter here. Okay, so yeah, I think it's obvious what was the mistake here. So all good. I think that's fine. The only thing here, we should implement the same again. But wait, that's run without results. That's fine, but we need to refactor the cursor method here. So data run is fine, but we have to call pull. So auto pull status equals connection pull env, and we here have that that thingy. If pull status second not equals 0, then we have an error, and then we return pull status first, because that's the object. Sorry, I'm missing parentheses because Rust doesn't have them, and I recently coded into Rust. Okay. That's fine. We have pull, but instead of pull here, we call fetch here. Nice. And I think that's the same. That's all good, because we're gonna fetch all the things here and be happy. Okay, but the problem is, once we are done with the fetching, we have to return the state back. So connection, once we so we have a run, and once run is called successfully, just a moment. Pool doesn't have any checks in terms of the state. I think that's missing here. And what about commit begin? Yeah, connection assert connection status ready. Yeah, connection. mg connect. Yep. La la la. Is that here? Here we are in the ready state, and that's fine. Ready or in transaction. Nice. Run asserts that, and once we here we are missing the state change. So I'm gonna quickly fix that. Here we have two branches, and one here and one here and one here. So status here is equal to connection status executing, but that might not be the case always, but for now I think we are ready with that. And also here is also executing, but we can override this by saying this. Okay, here we are in the executing state, and we have to pull and fetch data. And pull commit and rollback needs to be done in transaction. Yeah. Connection pool has to be in executing state. Yeah. And fetching needs to be in the fetching state. Okay. Once we execute pull, we are in the fetching state, but once we are done with fetching, and when the summary is 0 connection status, once we are done with the status, connection status bad, and here status equals, I think we can assume here that the status will be ready because we're done with the execution. Okay, and then on the cursor side, we execute pull. If it's all good, we check the thing here. We are fetching stuff, and then if we have summary, we're gonna set summary. If we don't, we don't, and that's it. All right, that's about it. The problem here we have is that we have while true, we have the streaming, and that's not gonna fly. But yeah, again, we'll do the change here, but it's not the correct one, so we'll change that later on. So on start call while true, okay, we have the same logic here. So pull, what's this method? Execute. Execute is called here. If not lazy, we execute all that, otherwise we run here. Yeah. Okay, we have to make the same check here, and then so this is the execute has the mode that it fetches everything immediately, or if its connection is set to lazy, then we have to use these let's say lazy constructs, and then the node has the whole concept of streams. I won't go there now, but yeah, we'll cover that later on, because this implementation is not right. We have to fix it. Obviously we have to fetch stuff here, and that's it. All right. That's all good, but we still have issues here with run without results. Okay, what to do here? mg session run, is that all the same? Yeah, I think we are missing two nulls here. Null. We could here in terms of session pool, we are not interested into so session pool has pool information. Mm. Mm-hmm. You just do null here as well. That's gonna fetch everything, but we have to rain status, pull status, node message exec failed to execute query. Okay. If pull, is that correct? If pull, yeah, that's correct. So we do run, we do session pull, we handle error. While one, we have to fetch stuff. Fetch status mg session. We're gonna copy paste from the fetch. So mg result. It's slightly inconsistent here, but we're gonna polish that later on. So fetch status equals 0. We have the summary, but what we don't care, we just break. If it's 1, no, if it's 1, we continue. Yeah. If it's 1, we continue. And if it's not, for anything else, we say that we are in a bad state. Yeah, I think we can do that in the first place. I'll remove this to do. We're gonna do that either way. So in this case, if we are good, we just continue, because that's the most obvious. We're gonna have probably we're gonna have a lot of fetching, and that's the most likely case. So let's put that in the first place. I mean, it doesn't really matter, but either in any case, let's do that first. If we encounter 0, so fetch. Fetch. Means there are no more results and the query summary was stored. Yeah, we have that. Pull status equals 1, fetch status equals 0. Yeah, we have to be careful here because fetch status, status bad, return 0. Yeah. Discard all. That's also very similar. Mg session pull if. Yeah, we have here different error handling methods, so we have to standardize that. Okay, we have to return from here, but okay. Let's use the same pattern for now, just to avoid bigger mess. New env was an error while let's keep it simple for now. Error new dot throw as JavaScript exception and return. Okay, that's about pull. We pull stuff and then we also fetch, and that's kind of the same. Yeah, and status equals connection status bad. All right. Discard all, and we have to fetch. Probably some of these methods could be used, could be extracted. I'll reuse the same error here and just return. If this happens, return. Otherwise, I'll remove all that. Okay. Run, pull. I think we actually now changed everything. Nice. So we actually compiled the Node client. All right. Let's try to run test. Nice. So all tests passed, which is really good. Hopefully they are doing their job. All right. Get diff. Let's check what we did. We did a bunch of stuff. So we update the agent, and then most of the things was about executing and about mg session run, pull, and fetch. So good. Good. Okay. Let's do how to format this code. Do I have some formatting? Lint. I have lint of the JavaScript stuff, but I don't have. Sorry, that was a mistake. This is connection. This is the right thing. Clang. I have the Clang format. Nice. have that utility in my Vim. So this should have done the job. Nope. Why not? How to? I actually forgot my binding for formatting stuff. That's not great, but yeah. Leader F. Will that work? I have to select probably. Oh, nice. Okay, that works, but I didn't want to do that. I wanted to do the entire file. Command to format the current buffer. That's nice. Yeah, but I was pressing that, so leader CF. Leader CF. Okay, it takes some time. That's the connection. Anything else I had to format? If connection HPP, connection CPP. It seems we have the right format here. Yep. And also here. Yeah, these purple colors are not visible at all. Right format here. Yeah, all good. That's about it. That's gonna fly. What else? What else to do? I think that's fine. Yeah. Since that's something I did last time, but that's probably done in the README. Yeah, Node.js 12. Yeah, that's fine. That's already updated. So yeah, that's more or less it. Get status. Let's add that to the index. Check one more time. Should be fine. We have that to do is fine. We have to do that. And all these things are fine. We're gonna standardize error messages next time. Fetch was added. And yeah, that's called in the right places. Nice. Okay, so git branch. Okay, and git status is okay. and we just git commit. Nice, git push. Okay, now that should be public. We have that branch. Yep. Okay, that is building. Okay, I think I'm gonna actually stop here, maybe to explore what has happened since the last the Node add-on was here. So okay, we have all these. I mean, we are very related to the whole, very dependent on that Node add-on API, and in order to build async stuff, we have to actually push the execution of a query to the Node thread, then get all the results back from the server, and then after that push that to the JavaScript. And in order to do so, I think we have to start using the C++ client, because it stores these values that have to be stored and then passed back. But maybe to explore what they all have here, what they have here. Error handling, async operations. Yeah, that's interesting. Memory management. Let's open this and this and this and this and this. So memory management. What do they say? Class contain function. Give JavaScript. This is something new that wasn't there before. The function adjusts the amount of external registered external used to give the JavaScript change in bytes. That probably can be positive or negative, and then you just pass that back to the JavaScript. Returns the adjusted memory value. Nice. Okay, that's easy. Asynchronous operation. Need to extend long-running tasks and to avoid blocking the event loop. Yeah, so in our case we have the issue with this, because all our operation to the server are long-running and shouldn't be blocked. That's the whole point of Node.js, and we have to use this, and we have to run that of the event loop, and to do provides interface support functions for most common asynchronous use cases. There is an abstract classes to implement asynchronous operations. Async worker. Okay. Yeah. This thing here, an async worker is an abstract class to remove many of the tedious tasks of moving data between the event loop and worker threads. The class internally handles all the details of creating and executing an asynchronous operation. Once created, executed is requested by calling queue. Request that the work to be queued. Once execute completes, either on OK or on error will be invoked. we prepare the work, we put it in the queue, and then we get on OK, on error. I hope. That was similar. That was there in the past as well, I think. Where is that? Sorry, not client node. I actually made a pull request back in the days. Yeah, almost a year ago. With this worker. This is some boilerplate that doesn't really matter right now, but this is kinda thing here. Yeah, execute should implement fetching data. This method is used to execute some tasks outside of the event loop on the libuv worker thread. Subclasses must implement this method, and the method is run on a thread other than the running the main. Yeah, that's what we need. As the worker method is not running on the main loop, must avoid calling any methods from Node. Yeah, that's the whole point. So as the method is not running on the main event loop, it must avoid calling any methods from Node add-on API or running any code that might invoke JavaScript. That's tricky one. So that node wasn't there before, or I was missing it. Instead, once this method is complete, any interaction through Node add-on API with JavaScript should be implemented in the async worker OK. On OK and on error. Yeah. So long story short, the way how I interpret this is that we have to implement execute method and fetch all the results, or at least all the required results based on the configuration. So if the connection is not lazy, here we're gonna fetch all the results, store it in this object as something that doesn't have anything related to the JavaScript objects or these value objects. And then on OK, we have to transform that into value objects and send it back. So resolve. What is the deferred thing here? Yeah, how to actually return these results back? Just let me check that. I'm not sure now. Get results. This method returns the arguments passed to the. Oh, nice. On work complete. Yeah, I don't remember. This was that complete back in the days. So I think get results should be used. That's the vector of NAPI values. This method returns the arguments passed to the callback invoked by. No. What? These are some results. These are some arguments. Okay. This sounds interesting, but I don't really understand how to use it yet. Async context operator example. What is that? Async context. The async context may not be appropriate for every scenario. When using any other async mechanism, introducing a new class is necessary to ensure an async operation is properly tracked by the runtime. This is also something new. Async context. Make callback with async context. Okay, we have a function and we have object, some kind of an object. Okay, we create a new async context instance. Async context test resource. Okay, callback, make callback. Yeah, I'm not sure when is that executed. This is something more advanced and more undefined. Okay, and async progress worker. Nice. Yeah, this is more advanced. I think we don't need this. I think we definitely don't need this, but it's nice to have that as well in the arsenal of tools. Okay, but let's take a look into examples. Node.js, yeah, this one here. What? Hello world callback factory wrapping. No, these are all simple examples. Give me complex stuff. Node add-on API examples. This async p estimate, async this Node add-on API, yeah. Add-on CC. Nope. Async. Yeah, here we have async worker. On OK, callback call estimate. On OK, they return results. Calculate as async. So we get value, we get callback, we send it to the p worker, and then we call q, and then callback. So then that's gonna create call execute, and then on OK callback will be called. Nice. The only problem is the promise. We need to work with promises as well. That's a problem because that's like only C. And that's also only C. Yeah, they don't have much examples. But anyway, what was the case here? So actually I put here deferred resolve, and then we send the value back on inside OK method. Yeah. All right. I think I understand. So yeah, I think we should use that async worker because that's good enough. So that's gonna execute stuff on the background thread, and once we are okay, we just send results back, and on error we reject, and then the rest is, I think the rest is all these promise stuff. And yeah, inside here maybe just a point with connection, we should pass the connection to this promise worker. Yeah, I have to figure out how to deal with the connection. Maybe we should have pool of connections or pool of these promise workers, each having a connection object, and then stuff is gonna be executed asynchronously. And we also have multiple stuff that have to be done asynchronously, so run, pull, and fetch are all should all be asynchronous operations. Anyway, that's fine. Let's call it for today. I hope this was interesting. Let me just quickly check one more thing. Yeah, nice. The tests passed also on the CI, which is great. No questions. Please, guys, ask questions. That's good. Or any suggestions, because I'm also a rookie on all these things. That's it for today. I think I have to think a bit how to organize all that and how to properly use the API and build async stuff. If you're more interested into the whole thing, please go to GitHub and check it out. Feel free to fork and contribute in any way. I will be happy with that. And also we have some swags for contributors, so please do that. And yeah, I'll try to improve the color thingy because it's really annoying. The red colors are not properly rendered, and that's it. Next time I continue here, maybe I'll do some progress in the meantime, but yeah, we'll see about that. Have a good rest of the weekend. Take care. Share, like, subscribe as always, and see you next Saturday. Bye bye.